Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing? This morning, I want to put out an updated review to the water heater review video that I did about 8 months ago or so. It's on the Rheem 50-gallon Performance Plus Gladiator Smart Wi-Fi unit. I no longer have that unit as of about a month and a half to 2 months ago. It's been replaced under warranty by Rheem. I now have a basic 50-gallon Rheem Performance Plus with no smart or Wi-Fi features. Let me walk over to the water heater and I'll explain to you what happened. Okay, so here's the new unit that I have installed. Major difference between these two was this, where this element is, this was a circuit board here. This was the Wi-Fi connection and smart controls right there. So this no longer has that. This is just the basic version of this water heater. So what was happening was I was getting a service light that would turn on. I couldn't turn it off, couldn't reset it to get it to work correctly. And what was happening was the top element was constantly staying on. It wouldn't shut off and alternate between the bottom element and the top element. So this was just constantly staying on, causing my water to get very, very hot, which was the closest to my inbound piping, so that the water from the faucet was just super hot when we turned it on. So I called Rheem at the warranty number there, let them know the situation. They said, we're gonna send out one of our contracted plumbers to take a look at it. So he got here, and the very first thing he said to me was, I bet you anything it's your circuit board, because they're failing a lot on these units. So he did a diagnostic test, determined that it was my circuit board, contacted Rheem. Rheem said they don't have any more circuit boards in stock, and they authorized a full replace of the unit. So we disconnected it. He took apart all of the shark bite fittings that I had in place. I took the unit over to Home Depot. They gave me store credit for it, and then I purchased this one, which was like 200 bucks less anyway. So as far as the connections were concerned, he did compliment my original installation. He said the shark bites are pretty good for DIY purposes. He doesn't use them professionally, but he didn't have any issue with the way it was set up. They use obviously copper for their installations. He did replace my old valve, original valve the builder had. He did reuse my CPVC line, and then we added a tray to the bottom. The only recommendation that he had was to go ahead and add a thermal expansion tank. I did not need one by code from where I live, because on the side of my house where my main water line is, I have a pressure relief valve built in. He said this would just give me added protection because it's closer to the unit. So I went ahead and let him put that in. And the only thing I really had to pay for on this really not, I guess it's an upgrade, is the labor of the expansion tank and the expansion tank itself. The rest was covered by Rheem. So that's what you're looking at here. If you're having the same issue with your service light turning on, contact that number right there. There you go. And you may have the same issue that I had. Hey, so you can see it was pretty disheartening to only get 6 months out of a $650 unit. I had a gift card. That's why I bought that one in the first place. I had like a $100 gift card to Home Depot, so I upgraded to get that Wi-Fi one, or the Smart Edition water heater. So I had an app that would tell me, if there was a leak, or I could control the settings through the phone. So in theory, it was great. But the plumber that I had come out here, he just shook his head and he said, it's not what you want. It's not the one you want to buy. So if you guys are in the market of purchasing a water heater, you may want to watch this video or this second review and maybe opt to just get the basic water heater instead of that Gladiator Smart Edition. It may not be worth it for you. It didn't work out for me. I ended up having to just downgrade and get the original one. But as far as the hookup is concerned, I would have left the shark bites on. He actually offered to leave the shark bite connectors on. But he said, you know, normally we don't use them. We just use copper tubing. So the only thing I had to pay for in this whole entire second installation was the thermal expansion tank addition. The rest was covered, the whole water heater was covered under warranty. So hope this second video helps. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.